What's up, good people? The Jaguars pulled one out in what was their most complete game of the season. I'll talk about it here on today's episode of Locked On Jaguars, the Postcast.
You are Locked On Jaguars, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What up, good people? Welcome to another edition of Locked On Jaguars. I'm the host of the Locked On Jaguars podcast, Tony Wiggins. Here we like to tell you that it's your team every day, and we thank you for making us your first listen. Also, quick reminder to subscribe on our YouTube page. Make sure you go subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell so you receive notifications every single time we drop an episode on YouTube. And wherever you listen to audio podcasts, tap in every single time to make sure you don't miss an episode of Locked On Jaguars. All right, good stuff to cut into today, man. Obviously, we celebrating the victory. Jags win 37-20. Could have been a little worse had they not fumbled around at the end a little bit. Almost got my man Trevor dinged up. We got to make sure that he's fine. So hopefully we'll get some information before this postcast is done and we can bring that back to you. But it's going to be interesting now that I go by the numbers here in segment 2 after we get through the news of today's game. But it's going to be interesting because this is something I keep telling people about stats. Numbers might not lie, but they don't tell the whole truth. In terms of what we saw on the field today, closing the book and closing some chapters on some stuff, you saw Gardner Minshew do what Gardner Minshew does, 3 touchdowns, 300 and some odd yards. Statistically, looked like it was good enough to win. We'll go over that and buy the numbers, and the team loses. That's why he's not a franchise quarterback, never was. And that's just a quick little jab for everybody that got mad at me when I said that back in the day. But the guys came and got more sacks today. I think it was 3 or 4. I think they got 4 today, or 3. I know Trayvon got loose and got 1. Josh had a big one early in the game. So a little pass rush. Did Kayvon Chason get a sack? I think Kayvon got a sack today. So the pass rush is it still might not look the way you want it to look, but it's effective. The turnovers. We continue to talk about the things that they purposely worked on and the things that they really wanted to accomplish this year. The turnover game, man, they got some more today. 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery off of a strip sack by Josh Allen. So you're starting to see all of this stuff sort of come together. And then you really see them come together when the offense is working. That's why it's a perfect game to me, because even Jamal Agnew had a big return late in the game, and then McManus made everything in sight. But this is how you play complementary football, and this is something that we had not seen up until this point. I'm going to do this a little earlier than normal. I'm going to hit some of these names because folks are chiming in at a very, very high rate. What up, B New? He just wanted to say T-Wig, what's up? Everybody else is happy. Defense is playing lights out. Offense missing Zay. That's a great point, Jeppy. I hadn't even thought of that because I've been so busy talking about everything that had been going on that was good. I didn't think about it. It could be even better if they had Zay Jones. Ben Brown didn't love the garbage time score or running Trevor around, but I love another win. Thanks, Ben. What up, T-Wig? What up, Way? Donald Gessley, let's go Jags. Just win, baby. That's right. Uncle Thursday said that he saw some Trayvon sightings today. He absolutely did. And then El Diablo points out that the offensive line held up. We'll try to get to some more of those because we're glad that people love to participate, and I like to give shout-outs whenever we can. But, yeah, you saw it today, complimentary football at its finest. You get a lead, guys start playing with more confidence on the defensive side of the ball, start jumping some routes. A little concerned about a couple of things. Tyson Campbell left the game with a hamstring injury. Those are nasty, and they have a tendency, especially for a guy who has to run a lot like that, they have a tendency to kind of linger longer than you want them to. So we're going to hope that he's not out long, because once he went out, you definitely saw a difference. Shout out to Monteric Browner and his efforts today. But There's a difference. There's a difference in the way that they attack, the way their teams look at you, and there's a difference in the performance. Monterey Brown just isn't as good of a player as Tyson Campbell. So that's something to monitor moving forward. There's little nitpicky things with these injuries with Trevor, as well as with now possibly Tyson Campbell being out. We'll just have to wait and see what that is. But they were flying around the ball. Devin Lloyd was flying around the ball today, man, and kept getting his hands on stuff. How about Rayshon Jenkins? It's going to be real hard for me between now and tomorrow to pick someone as the defensive player of the game, because a lot of people really, really deserved it. It's going to be a little bit hard on offense too. It's going to be a little bit hard because it's easy to say Travis Etienne because he had those 2 scores, but it's not even a touchdowns with Etienne. With Etienne, it's not even a touchdowns. For me, with him, it's him, man. It's just something about his presence, and it's something about the way he carries it this year that just, it's different. It's a lot different. It's a night and day between this year and last year. And it had nothing to do with him not displaying this stuff, but you can just tell when the dude just kind of like feels like he belongs and feels like he's earned the right to walk around a certain way. And that's how he is, man. And he's really, really doing a real good job of carrying this team. All right, we're going to get to buy the numbers. We'll get into looking at some of the stats, how they lied to y'all again about what happened on that field today. We'll do all of that in just a second here on Locked On Jaguars postcast. First, I have to let you know about LinkedIn Talent Solutions. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Worked for me. I filled the whole barbershop in very short time doing this, and it could be just as efficient for you. Because LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to and faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnfl. That's linkedin.com/lockedonnfl to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Want to let y'all know about our other sponsor, which is Gametime. That's right, Gametime, man. You talk about buying some tickets to some events and making sure that you can get them without the hassle. Well, Gametime is where you should be doing that. It's easy, man. You just download the app or go to gametime.co. That's gametime.co. Browse through the Gametime app and just take a look at all of the things that they have. It's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of events that you want to go to. Views from all of the seats at the venue, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation, job loss protection, all of those things. Man, I'm telling you, ain't nothing like seeing the seat that you're actually going to sit in before you get there. Here's what you do. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNFL, LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I mean, guaranteed to have a funky good time here with me on Locked On Jaguars, especially after a victory. Everybody loves winning. The Jaguars improved to 4-2, put a little bit of overall record separation with the Colts, and get a 2-game jump on the Colts as well in the AFC South. The only game that the Jags lost in the AFC South so far this year was to Houston, so that would mean that they're 2-1 in the AFC South and then have a better overall record than everyone else. So you could say order is restored a little bit. The favorites to win the AFC South are now sitting back atop the AFC South, going into a short week where a bunch of people are going to be traveling, going to New Orleans. I had my tickets, man. I had everything all planned out, had my hotel, and then this hip replacement surgery kicked in, and I was trying to figure out if I could still pull it off, but no, I cannot. I will tell you, I cannot imagine myself with a cane on Bourbon Street. So it won't happen, but a lot of y'all are going. Make sure you travel safe. Good point. El Diablo says Alua Khan is the defensive MVP with 15 tackles. I ain't going to even argue with you, man. Like I said, I haven't even really taken a hard look at that yet. Let's go by the numbers. I'm going to shock you here a little bit. And I like to do this. I like to do this because it gives me a chance to strut my little stuff around. All right. So if I told you the Jacksonville Jaguars would have 233 total yards on the day, and that Indy had 354, the Jaguars would have 17 first downs, and Indy would have 18 first downs. And the Jaguars would only possess the ball 28 minutes while Indy had it over 31. Would you have told me that the Jacksonville Jaguars won? If you say it's incomplete, Wig, because we would actually need to know the turnovers. 4-1. What do you say about that? Yep, I would have said the Jacksonville Jaguars won the game because of those turnovers. And you would be absolutely right, of course, because we know they absolutely did win this game. A couple of little independent or individual stats for you. Trevor Lawrence, 20, 30, 181 yards, 2 tutties, and a bad throw. He got away with another bad throw, but he only had 1 interception on the day. Travis Etienne, a workman-like game, 18 carries, 55 yards, 2 tutties. Kept everybody at bay. Dearness Johnson came in and had a nice 19-yarder down over the left side. But yeah, not much on the ground, not much in the air. The leading yardage receiver was Christian Kirk with 49. Evan Ingram had 7 catches. So no, not all of the explosiveness that you would want to see, but guess what? Does not matter. They won the game. Does not matter. They absolutely won the game. And you know, that's all you ever want. You want these guys to be able to be victorious and figure out whatever they have to figure out later on. The thing is to get the win in the win column, and that's exactly what they did. Now, we got a little bit of a short week, and I'm hearing that the Saints lost, if I'm not mistaken. That the Saints lost to Houston. So you got a little bit of a wounded team that you're going to be playing this week. And yeah, it's a good day, man. It's going to be a nice victory Monday. Y'all can celebrate a little bit. Hope you got some leftovers at home. If you don't, just enjoy the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars are 4-2 after 6 weeks, and they're trending upward. As long as these injuries are just little nicks and not something that's going to really stick on them and try to plague their season. You got to be really, really happy with the way that this team has played as of the last 3 weeks, because none of those games were alike, but the result was all the same, and that is that they got a W. So they don't have to look the same all the time. That was one of my things, and y'all can light me up with that one, because one of my things was to just look the same all the time. So the only thing we know about them is that they don't look the same all the time. And well, maybe that in itself is a little bit of a characteristic that this team will have. It ain't going to look the same every time, but it's going to feel the same every time, because we're going to get the same result. And what that is a W. And that's all that matters. Can you have an identity without actually having one? That's something to ponder. Maybe the identity of this team is the fact that they won't have one. And that is going to look different every single week. And that means that's a good thing in a sense, because it means that no matter what you see, or no matter what kind of circumstances is going to be, no matter what the weather is, no matter how the wind is blowing, doesn't matter. We're going to get the job done. And right now, that's what they're doing. I'm actually hearing Big Daddy Kane's song in my head right now. I get the job done. I work, baby, because that's what they're doing. They're finding ways to win. Does this not a little bit personify who we are in this city? People always got Florida, man. I'm guilty of it too, because some of it's funny, but always talking about Duval. Do we like personify people that just don't have a personification, but we just find a way to keep winning and find a way to keep being in the consciousness and the mindset of everybody? I think that's what it is. So draw some inspiration any kind of way you have to, but whatever you do, understand something. I'm gonna get all Jason Garrett on you now. Go look in that mirror and adjust that tie, and that tie, or if you don't have a tie on your apron or whatever it is you're wearing. 4-2, baby. We won 3 in a row. That's all you got to say to yourself. Make sure you tap in tomorrow with me on Locked On Jaguars as we go over Victory Monday and we find out a little bit more information about Trevor Lawrence and Tyson Campbell and everybody else. By the way, welcome back, Dwan Smoot. You did your thing, man. You did your thing. We love you, Dwan Smoot. We appreciate you. All right, man. You guys take care. We'll see you next time here on the Locked On Jaguars podcast.